Hey guys, welcome back to World of Warships, and I just had the best, most fun day of World of Warships I've almost ever had. It's been a very long time since I've had this much playing World of Warships, and I've got some highlights to show you guys. Today it's with Schlieffen, but this new mode shuffle is unbelievable. This game mode is so good. I've had such a great time with it. So good, in fact, that I literally only played or thought about World of Warships all day yesterday. I woke up, had breakfast, went and made the early mode shuffle video where, you know, played some GK, tried it out. Had lunch, streamed for 5 hours, which for me, if you guys don't know, is like almost triple what I usually do. I'm usually in that hour and a half, 2 hours, and then I'm frustrated with this game and I quit. I don't want to force myself to play the game if I'm not enjoying it. That's kind of how I view streaming. YouTube is what pays the bills after all, so streaming is just kind of a nice little bonus for me. And I played for 5 hours. And then after I was done, I was incredibly happy. I had a great day, went and had some dinner, and then hung out on TeamSpeak for a little bit with friends while they played this mode. And that went until like midnight my time, so I needed to go to bed. So yeah, I can't believe how good this game mode is. I knew I was going to enjoy it, but I love it. And it's not because this game mode does anything particularly special with the maps or these Convoy, Airship, Escort, and Arms Race modes. Those are fun, those are interesting, but I think what makes this mode so good, so much better than previous iterations we've seen, or at least the last iteration we saw of Airship, Escort, and random battles, is the fact that we can choose this as a separate game mode. Everybody playing this goes in with the knowledge of what they're getting into. They can build their ship in the way they want to for an aggressive, close-range engagement. And I think people want to push in, and I think people want to play that, at least as an alternate game mode, and I love that. So in these games, I did have some bad games, let's be honest. You're always going to have some ups and downs. It's a multiplayer game. But overall, the general feeling I have from this game mode is that people want to push in, they want to have these close quarters engagements in this mode, and I love that. And I'm all about that. That's my favorite part of this game. So I'm going to try and do my best to enjoy this while it's here. Unfortunately, it's less than a month that we get with this game mode. I sure hope that it goes over well and Wargaming brings it back as a permanent or semi-permanent game mode, similar to what they've done with Ranked, where maybe it's a prime time thing. I can understand being a little worried about fracturing the player base into multiple queues in maybe the off hours, depending on the server. So if it comes back as a prime time thing, like Ranked, just a permanent option, I would be so happy. And I'm probably going to mention this a lot going forward until it happens, just to be totally clear, considering how much fun I've had here. And sure, there's definitely times I'm going to be playing the other modes, don't get me wrong, but if I want to brawl, if I want to play these secondary battleships, this is what I'm going to play. Look at this. We're pushed into the middle of the map, early game. I mean, this particular map was so much fun too because cyclones actually hit. And I looked at the timer. It was 3 minutes, 20 seconds, I think, from the start of the game to when the cyclone would start to roll in. That's so much faster than normal and makes the game so interesting. Just look at everybody push in. I mean, we got the insane torpedo play in this one. This one just went my way. There were plenty of times where I just full sent it in and then I was just on the receiving end of just amazing torpedoes and died very quickly. But it's more fun. It's just more fun for me, at least as an option. There are going to be times where I don't want to play this mode. There's certain ships that I probably wouldn't want to play in this game mode. But it's not just brawling battleships that I had a great time in with this mode. I actually played some G-Nan and went a full torp build G-Nan. Let me tell you, that is ridiculous when people are pushing into you. Torp builds are excellent here. I think a lot of cruisers can be very, very good that don't usually see the play in random battles. Unfortunately, we do end up dying here, but our secondaries are going to finish off the Liberty ship as well. And we help our team to a win here with 240k, 7 kills. Just ridiculously fun. And today is just Schlieffen games. I had plenty more. I actually had 13 YouTube-worthy games in one day, which resulted in like 142 gigabytes on my drive. So if that continues, I'm going to need a lot more storage space. That could be a problem. But we do get a nice win here, which is very fun. Almost 100k in the raw secondary damage, just crazy stuff. Torpedoes, very fun. And in this one, I debated putting this one first, actually, because we're just going to get some random teammates that are going to do some amazing helper plays for us. The team play element here is so much fun. If you have a div, if you run a div, you're going to have a great time here. Just all the synergy you can do. For example, Schlieffen with a Vampire 2 that's going to smoke you. And that is a crawling smoke. So if the Vampire 2 just runs in front of you, they just can't spot you, outside of like radar or if you shoot your guns. So I'm just not going to shoot my guns. It's so much fun. There are problems with the mode. I think that the games with carriers and subs tend to be less fun for me. There, you can still have a good time, but if I were to make the perfect game mode, it would not include carriers and subs. I have to say it. You knew it was coming. I have to say it. But even then, most of the games didn't include that, at least at the start. So for now, it's really, really, really enjoyable. I just hope Wargaming brings it back once it's over. I'm already dreading the times where they remove this. And upon some reflection, I think there's some other reasons why this game mode goes so well. Random Battles has stats that are tracked, and as much as I am in a position right now where I really don't care about my stats, I'm wanting just fun, engaging games, I understand that that is not for everyone. In fact, I used to be incredibly invested in my stats and would often be quite frustrated anytime my stats took a dive. That was years ago when I was trying to get more into the competitive side of the game, trying to improve. I looked at them all the time, and I can understand the appeal for that. You want to get better, stats are a great way to track that. You want to join some competitive teams, oftentimes they will be looking at your stats. Or maybe that's just one of the enjoyable sides of the game for you, right? Where you look and see how good you can be after 40 or 80 games on the leaderboard. Maybe you want to leaderboard a ship. I can totally understand that. Even though it's not really what I want out of this game, I can get that that is a very interesting part of the game for a lot of people. With this game mode not having that available, I think people are a little more interested or okay with just full sending it in, pushing, just trying stuff, trying to have some fun without the consequences of their stats potentially suffering for it. And I think another reason this game mode is going so well for me, where I want to have these brawling, closer quarters engagements, even if I don't win, like seriously, just go back and look at the Friesland or Groningen ship request video. That second game, I had an absolute blast. Close game where we were trying to brawl it out at closer ranges with DDs and farming battleships a little bit. I love this game, guys. I really love World of Warships. This has just really proven that to me. This game is still so good. It's so, so good. But we need game modes, game types that incentivize the kind of style of gameplay that I'm going to selfishly say I enjoy, and I think a lot of others enjoy. You know, you can leave your comments in the description down below. But I think this is more interesting than the turn out from spawn, instantly kite away, reverse towards one another, HE spam people. And that's kind of what standard battles and a lot of times domination results in with cap zones. You do get punished for pushing in. That is how this game works. There are certain advantages to pushing in. You gain map control, of course, but you're going to lose more HP to someone who's kiting away from you. That's just how it is. You have to lead for them farther than they have to lead for you. Typically, that's going to result in you taking a lot more damage when you push in. And we need game modes that incentivize that, in my opinion, because the game is just a lot more interesting here at closer ranges. I understand that sounds a little funny considering I'm playing Schlieffen, which is the ultimate turn brain off, let the AI secondaries just go to work. But trust me, I had plenty of fun in a lot of other ships. And actually, one of my best games came with Wisconsin as a brawling gun accuracy reload focused build. It was a ton of fun to play that ship at such close ranges. And that's what I'm really missing out of random battles. And it can happen in those random games, but a little more likely to happen in ranked, and certainly happens much, much more in this mode shuffle idea here. Not all of them are as good for it, by the way. I think the Convoy and especially Airship Escort incentivizes you to push in and rewards you for pushing in. The Arms Race one, a little bit less so until the later game when you get the circle at the end. But I had a few games where I went against what I think are random battle type enemy teams where they were sitting a little further back. They were getting that HE spam, longer range, while I tried to push in a few different ships. And I died rather quickly, and I was a little bit frustrated by it. But the thing is, my team absolutely stomped the enemy team, even though I died. And for me, it's not about winning every game. Honestly, it's about having more fun. So I'd still rather not run into games like that. But at least they weren't rewarded with a win or something like that by standing back and just farming. You're gonna lose games in this one. You're not going to win if you don't engage with the mechanics of this game mode, which is protecting the convoy, attacking the convoy, preventing your airship from getting stalled by the enemy push, or keeping your airship up to higher speeds, those kinds of things. And Arms Race is a little different there, but you do need to push in to get those buffs, of course. Our torps actually were almost too slow there. Wisconsin almost got the ram off, and we actually almost lost this game. I overpushed the middle of the map early, and we lost the north, where I've actually done this in a Schroeder, actually. You might see that game coming up later, where I just full sent to the north when I was attacking the convoy, and I went and killed all the convoy while the enemy team was too busy in the south to stop me. So it's a very interesting game mode. I love that you're forced to play the maps differently. I think there are some options to maneuver islands around in maps. That's something I brought up in yesterday's video, where I think Wargaming could use a mode like this where, I mean, random battles is the casual game mode, let's be honest here. It's the just whatever happens, happens, you throw everything into a queue, and that's fine. But people do take it more seriously, like I said, stats, that kind of thing. This mode, I think, is a little bit less serious, and Wargaming could do to try out more random map variety, more random spawns, more random paths on these convoys. Anything like that to just freshen up the gameplay experience, I think would be a ton of fun. In this one, we do manage 267,000 damage with Schlieffen, just insane. I really had a good time with Schlieffen, but again, plenty of other ships did really, really well. Huge thank you to the Vampire 2 here. He pretty much sacrificed his own game to give me this insane match. So thank you very much. I do appreciate it. You can't expect your teammates to do that every game, certainly. But if you run a div, you could run stuff like that. Run a Schlieffen plus a Vampire 2. Maybe a radar would help in a div like that as well. But yeah, seriously, big props to this Vampire. I had good games outside of all the team play as well, but it does help a little bit. And this might actually be the most secondary damage I've ever done. Like 140k secondary damage is crazy. Only 17 main battery hits. I should have been shooting my guns much more than I did in this game. This was actually at the very end of the day for me, so might have been a little bit fried in the brain after 5 hours of ships, but I gotta say, I was having so much fun, even after 5 hours of this game. Which I know may not seem like a lot of time, oh, you're just playing a video game, but given my history of streaming this game and, you know, ending after an hour and a half or 2 hours before I get too frustrated with it is quite the progress, quite the change up for me. For the Schlieffen build, I did try a few different options, and considering we're really full sending, I've actually given up concealment here. I'm trying to get a little more healing, a little bit quicker back to my heals, and then, of course, we're going just full damage with those secondaries. More creativity with the builds, I think, is also a plus of this game mode, since you're not so focused on that optimizing your long-range capability. You can do more of these brawler builds. It's very fun. Even in other ships, like other ship classes, like cruisers and DDs, you can focus more on your close-range ability, which can be quite fun with... I need to try something like a Salem with a full lighthouse DPM build, going in as much as I can on the reload. I've done that before in randoms and it's done okay, but in this mode it could be amazing. I didn't actually try it out, but Paulo Emilio could be so fun here, which it's almost unplayable in randoms, right? Man, there's so many options. I love it. I'm loving it. It's so, so, so cool. Equipment I will show briefly here too. I mean, you probably expected just full secondaries. Of course, that's what we're going for with this ship. But man, what a cool game mode. I do need to take a look at more of the update. Check out the Star Trek event, which very cool port. Again, this is a very sweet looking port, and the option to go back to the ship. All the little Easter eggs, very, very cool. I am loving this update so far. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I hope you guys are also enjoying it. And wargaming, I know you watch some of these videos. Please, please bring this mode back for me. Please. I'd be in your debt, because, oh, it's so fun. It's so fun. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.